All right, this is Jack Godfrey in Southdale Wellness. We are this is Facebook live stream. This is Saturday morning, 9 a.m. beginner Qigong. And today we're in the fall season. Yes, still fall. And we're about to change time zones as time. We're about to change time. So it's that sort of season as well. But in the fall season, we're looking at the meridian systems, the lung, the large intestine, and the color we're focusing on is gray, silver, white, largely because of frost and fog and that sort of stuff that we get a lot of in the fall time. And also there's a particular emotion that we're looking to manage during this time period as well, and it is grief. So generally we're going to do some warm-up stuff. We're going to then focus this week on the Golden Chi Ball series, and in our healing section we're going to once again look at increasing lung capacity. There's a series of movements and exercises that we can do that will help with that. It also improves the health of the lungs as well. And then we'll wrap up, as we have been for the last little while, with our 5-direction meditation. So I'm going to head on back there and we'll get started. So as we usually do, we're going to start with some breath work here. But to get the maximum benefit out of the breath work, we need to have the body set up so that we can breathe deep with comfort. And so to do that, we start with our feet, with our foundation, with our roots. So have a look at the feet. You want to have them more or less parallel. And you want to drift the weight into the toes, drift the weight into the heels. You want to keep the feet flat to the floor as you move into the toes and then back into the heels. So what we're doing here is bringing awareness to where is the weight on our feet. So we're here like this. We drift forward onto the toes. This is the small triangle. We drift back into the heels. This is the, whoops, you don't want to go too far. You could end up on your back. And so the small triangle is big toe, little toe, and the ball joint of the foot. So that's the front. The toe, principally it's the toes. The large triangle is the big toe, little toe, and heel. So the whole sole of the foot. So we drift forward onto the toes, that's the small triangle. We drift back, put weight in the heels, this is the large triangle. So we use this a lot throughout our practice as well. So let's come to the center here. We want to put equal weight in the heels and toes. Bend the knees ever so slightly because you want to avoid locking the knee joints. We want to have them nice and what I call soft. Now we grab the hips, right at the top of the hips with the thumbs to the back. Now push down with the thumbs, draw the tailbone into the body a little bit, pull the belly button in. Lift up the hoyin, the pelvic floor, the perineum, many names for the same place. We lift the ribs a little bit, creating some space in the abdomen, but also it lengthens the spine. We lift the chin. We gaze to the horizon. And now we draw the chin in just a little bit. So we're looking up and we're gazing off. And now what's that done? It's also increased space for the lungs to be able to breathe in. So we're going to do the 3-part breath here for a few minutes. And so the 3-part breath, you fill the abdomen as much as you comfortably can. And then we add a bit more breath by breathing in behind the sternum, behind the ribs. And then finally we have a 3rd sip. And we're filling up to the very top, so it's as much as we can possibly breathe in. And then from there, we pause just for a second, holding that breath in. And then we exhale, completely emptying the lungs. Now, what may happen, happens to me quite regularly and happens to everybody else that does this with me, You breathe in, you breathe in, you breathe in, and you pause, and it's like, ah, a cough happens. And this is normal because stretching and expanding the lungs, and it's getting a little bit of a shaking going on, and it's going, it's like, I want out of here. And so that's what the cough is all about. So we're going to do 4 or 5 of these breaths. So we start here. Inhale. Inhale. Inhaling, filling the abdomen. Just have a look from the side. Inhale. So you're filling the lungs up as much as possible. We'll do 2 more. Last one. All right. So now we're going to pull down the heavens and move on with the rest of today. So inhale. Gather the chi from the earth. Reach up to the heavens. Look to the right hand. Turn. Look to the left hand. And draw the chi down in to the brass basin. So inhale. Exhale. Once more. All right, so now we're going to do our standing posture for this season, which is holding the golden chi ball. And once again, we start with our foundation, our feet. The space between our feet about the width of our fists. They're fitting between the toes, and the feet more or less straight ahead, knees slightly bent as we talked about before. And we tuck the tailbone in, pull the belly button in, lift the ribs, lift the chin, gaze to the horizon. Now bring the hands up so they're about the same height as the elbows. And take them towards, so take them out to the side, and then bring the elbows towards each other, behind the back. You're going to feel a stretch up here in the top of the chest, the collarbone area. And now, holding the chi ball, bring the hands out to the side, and then bring them around in front. So we're wrapping around. We're holding a giant ball against our lower abdomen. And so, inhale. We drift forward onto the small triangle. Exhale, we drift back onto the large triangle. We inhale for a count of 4. And exhale for a count of 4. We inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And we're looking for a deep, deep, deep breath. We'll do 2 more like this. Last one. And we'll let the arms relax. And now we're going to do a few warm-up movements here, and then we'll move into the Golden G-Ball series. So to start with, we're going to do a series, I call it swinging arms. It consists of 3 movements, done one after the other. The first one is drumming. The second where you tap the hips. The second one is cleaning the dragon's whiskers, where you tap the shoulder and the kidney at the same time. And the third one is flinging sleeves, where you bring the hands up and we point behind. So it looks like this. And we're doing all of those to sort of warm up all the muscles in the torso. So we start with drumming. So you turn the head and look over the shoulder. And now, cleaning the dragon's whiskers. We come to the shoulder, and we come to the kidney. We still look behind. Once more like this. And now flinging sleeves. Once more. And we come on back. And we're going to do one more movement here, and it's a side body stretch. It's known as Crescent Moon, which shows up in several other Qigong series. And so for this guy, you want to take this foot, and we turn it, and we point it that way. The other foot's still pointing straight ahead, and all the weight is over here. You're going to take this hand, the hand that has the pointing foot, and we're going to push it across the body towards the opposite side. The other hand, this one, is going to come up overhead, the palm pushing up. And now I want to bring this hand and the toes one above the other. So I'm leaning a little bit, the elbow's pushing to the heavens, and I'm pushing across. Now, visualize that the hips and the shoulders are touching the wall behind you. And we look to the upper hand, this one here. And we hold here for a few breaths. So inhale through the soles of the foot. Exhale through the center of the palm. Inhale, kidney 1 meridian, the sole of the foot, into the brass basin, this area here. Now exhale from the brass basin through the center of the palm, pericardium 8. One more breath. And now we go to the opposite side. So you bring the feet parallel. We move the hands. We shift the weight. Point the toes. Come up and reach for that wall. We're looking to lengthen the side of the body from the elbow to the ankle. And now we'll do once more on each side. One more breath. And we come around, last side. One more breath here. And we come on up, and we come on down. And now we're going to move on to the Golden Chi Ball series. So we start with pulling down the heavens yet again. Last one. All right, so now we begin the Golden Chi Ball series, and our feet are still in that narrow stance. More or less, the feet more or less parallel, have that space, that double hand width between the feet. And we start with shaking the 9 gates. Our hands are wet. Shake the water off our hands so you get the elbows, the wrists, and the shoulders moving up and down. And then we add in the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And then, keeping the hips facing front, we turn and look over the shoulder. So that's involving the abdomen, the ribs, and the neck. So the lower back, the ribs, the neck, we twist. We look over the shoulder. So inhale here. Exhale. And we'll do 2 more. Starting here. And we're back to the front. You may have a bit of color in the palms. You may have some tingling going on. So the whole idea of the shaking the 9 gates is to get the chi out to the extremities. Warm up the hands, warm up the feet, while cooling down the head. So we're trying to, as we get older, the chi sort of retreats from the extremities. You end up with cold hands, cold feet, and we're trying to reverse that by bringing the chi out to the extremities. So the 9 gates, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulder, the knees, the hips, the ankles, the lower back, the ribs, and the neck. Places in the body where the major joints are, and the amount of flesh around those areas is a little restricted, reduced. And so you need some assistance, get the chi to move through those areas, and that's what shaking the 9 gates is all about. Next is standing on a boat. There are many variations of this. We're going to start with the one that I first learned, and then we can look at 1 or 2 others. Now typically, for each of the movements in this series, we repeat them 9 times. And so we start here. So recall the small triangle, weight on the toes, the large triangle, weight on the heels. We add to that The dragon's back. So drift forward onto the toes, lift the ribs, lift the tailbone, lift the chin. We're stretching the front of the body. This is a dragon's back. A turtle back, put weight in the heels. So on the large triangle, drop the ribs, tuck the tailbone in, bring the shoulders forward, tuck the chin. We're looking down. This is a turtle back, stretching the back. Now we add the arms to this as well. So it's inhale, a small triangle, dragon's back. Let the arms drift up. Exhale, large triangle, turtle back. Let the arms drift down. And with all these movements, you focus your gaze on the hands. All right. So you breathe in, we breathe out. Breathe in for a count of 4, we breathe out for a count of 4. So here we go. Inhale. Exhale. So small triangle, dragon's back, the arms rise up. Large triangle, turtle back, the arms come down. Three more. And last one like this. So like with all the names for the Qigong series movements, we try to be very descriptive here. So standing on a boat, we're keeping our balance here. Well, there's obviously there's another variation to this. And so we're here, and you can use your arms to keep that balance as well. And so that's the one we're going to look at next. So bring the back of the hands together. So this is a turtle back here. Inhale. We come up, turn the palms so they come to the heavens. Bring the shoulder blades together, look to the heavens. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And looking from the side, so inhale. So once more. So that's variation number 2. Variation number 3 on this one is, I call it winter and summer, because you're wrapping yourself in a blanket. You're trying to keep warm. So this is the winter part. And you're all sort of crunched in, major dragon's back going on. And then it's summertime and you go, oh, it's so warm, it's nice. And so we're big dragon's back here and a big turtle back here. So let's do a few of these. So we wrap up here. So this is the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So on the X, bring the elbows towards each other. Inhale. And once more like this. All right, so that's standing on a boat, and it's 3 variations. So which reminds me of a story about somebody who had injured their knee and they went to practice. The doctor said you should ride a stationary bike, so he went to the local gym. They had a variety there. And so the guy took him through and he said, well, and eventually the person with the injured knee said, well, which one should I use? And he said, well, which one do you like? Well, that one over there. But is that the best one? Or should I be using one of these others? Which one's going to be the best one for healing my knee? And the instructor, the physio person, said, well, whichever one you like is going to be the best one for you, because that's the one you're likely to keep doing and you're going to continue to get the benefit from it. Whereas if I told you to use this one over here and you don't like it, well, it's not going to last very long. You're going to stop doing it. But since you like this one, and they're all pretty well equal as far as what they do, well then use that one over there. And the same idea with this. So standing on a boat, standing on a boat, standing on a boat. Which one resonates with you today? Do whatever variation seems to make sense. So next is Phoenix ascends the flame. So for this guy, we're going to lower down a little bit, and we're going to gather chi from the earth, and we're going to bring it up to the heavens. So it's inhale, gather the chi from the earth, we come up, we look up to the heavens, and then exhale, grabbing a giant beach ball, we draw it in to the navel, in to the brass basin. So inhale, gather the chi from the earth, bring it down from the heavens and in to the brass basin. I'm going to do 3 more. And last one. All right, so that was Phoenix ascends the flame. Next is monkey leaps from a tree. And there's a couple of variations to this one as well. Today I will focus on this particular one. So we come up here and we're hanging on to a branch, we're catching a parcel, we're looking up. And exhale, we sink down. Inhale, we come up. Exhale. Let's have a look from the side. So it's inhale, we have a turtle back on the way up. Exhale, we have a dragon's back on the way down. And we're watching the hands, we're watching the parcel the whole time. Exhale. And exhale. So we'll do one more like this. Now, there is a much more vigorous variation on this, so if you're looking for a little more vigor in your Qigong practice, there's this one here, this variation. So, we're hanging from the branch. And we let go and we're going to land on the tree or on the ground. So inhale. Ha! Ha! And you lift the heels. Ha! Ha! And we'll do one more like this. Ha! And that was monkey leaping from a tree for certain. And so next is snake rises out of the grass. So for this guy, we're going to be bending over a whole lot more than we've been doing all the way through, except for the previous one with the monkey leaps from a tree. But for this one, snake rises out of the grass, we use our scooping palm. Let me just give you a little close-up here. So you're looking for a palm like this. So fill it with marbles, fill it with chocolate chips, whatever makes sense for you. And so that's the shape of the palm. And now you bring the back of the hands together with that scooping palm, and we bring it around to the kidneys. We cover the kidneys, fingers point down, we stretch the front of the body. So it's the dragon's back. And then we bring the hands around. We come down, the back of the hands and the arms all the way to the elbows. Press against the legs as we come down. And then bring the palms to the legs with a turtle back. We come back up, chin tucked, tailbone tucked. And we drop the chi in to the brass basin. So inhale. We come here, dragon's back. Exhale, still with the dragon's back. Now tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, turtle back. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, with a bit of a dragon's back. We drop the chi in to the brass basin. So inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, we come up. And exhale. Inhale, we come around. Exhale, we come on down. Inhale, we gather the chi, bring it around to the kidneys. Oh dear. Technology failure here. Just hang on a moment, folks. I've got to put the microphone back in place. Hello? All right. And it's working too. Sorry about that. All right, so here we go. Come down the inside of the legs. Inhale, the palms to the legs with a turtle back. We come up. And exhale. Gathering the chi. Exhale. And we'll do one more like this. So inhale, we gather the chi. Exhale. Arms against the inside of legs. Palms to the legs as we come up. Circle the abdomen. Drop the chi in to the brass basin. All right, that was snake rises out of the grass. Next is embracing the sun and the moon. So far we've been standing in the narrow stance, standing in Wu Ji with our feet directly down from our hips. Now we're going to be in the stacking of the bones stance. So we step out to the side. And here's how you know you got things in the right place. Come over here, bend this knee, hip over the ankle. So the ribs, the hip, the ankle, the knee, all in a pile. So this is a stack of bones. And we can't go any further. And that's what this leg's all about, this one over here. This helps to keep the hip over the ankle. And now we come over here and make sure the same thing's happening as well. Leg straight, knee bent, hip over the ankle. So consequently a stack of bones here and a stack of bones here. Now we're going to be moving from side to side. So turn this hip just a little bit. And we're facing off to this side, like a piece of pie, maybe a bit more. Now you push with the toes. You land in the heels. So what's happening here is when you push with the toes, the hips turn, the torso turn, and now I'm facing this way. This knee bent, this leg straight. Push with the toes, land in the heel. Now, hold the ball. So the legs get all the weight, that hand's on top. Push with the toes, the ball comes down to the center. Land in the heel, the ball rises up. So this is embracing the sun and the moon. Exhale as we come down. Inhale as we rise up and we look to the side a little bit. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, we rise up, the hips turned. Exhale, we're facing front. Inhale, the hips turn to the side just a little bit. And we'll do 2 more cycles. We start here. Exhale. Inhale. Last cycle. And I need to remember to stop. So that was embracing the sun and the moon. Next is clearing the 7 energy centers. So we need to bring the feet back together. So 7 energy centers in yoga, they're called chakras. In qigong and tai chi, they're called energy centers. They happen to be the same thing in the same places, just different names. So we start with the root, with the navel, the stomach, the heart, the throat, the forehead, and the top of the head. So those are the 7 energy centers. And we're going to be bringing in fresh chi and taking out grubby chi as we work our way up. So we start here by stirring up chi in the brass basin. Draw some of that chi out to the surface. Now exhale, we push it down to the root as we drift on to the toes. Inhale, we drift on to the heels, we draw it up, and we come through at the top of the hips. Exhale, we push down. We do 3 times in each spot. So this is the root that we're working on. Now inhale, we come up, we come through at the navel, weight in the toes. Exhale, weight in the heels. Inhale, we lift the gaze. Exhale, we lower the gaze. And now from the navel, we move up to the stomach. Exhale. And now from the stomach, we move up to the heart. Once more at the heart. And we move from here, from the heart, up to the throat. Once more here. And now from the throat, we move up to the forehead. Inhale, we draw the chi up the back. Exhale, we bring the grubby chi down the front and to the earth. Inhale, we draw fresh chi up. Exhale, we expel turbid chi. And now from the forehead, we move up to the crown. So inhaling. Inhale, we watch the hands rise up. Exhale, we watch the hands lower down. Last one like this. And now we come down one at a time, starting with the crown. The forehead. The throat. The heart. The stomach. The navel. And now the root. So you come up just barely to the top of the hips and we push down. And now we pull down the heavens 3 times. So inhale, we gather the chi. And exhale. All right, so that was gather the cloud. No, clearing the 7 energy centers. Next is gather the clouds to make a jade pillow. So for this guy, once again, we're using our scooping palm. We're gathering the chi from the heavens. You let the hands overlap over the base of the skull. There's a bump at the base of the skull. Let's see if we can. So right here, we got these tendons that come up. Well, right here in between, there's this little bump. And that's the jade pillow. And so what we're looking to do is gather the chi, cover that jade pillow, and we look to the heavens. Big stretch, big dragon's back. And then exhale, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone, big turtle back. As we draw the chin into the chest, look back through the legs. Inhale, we come up, shoulder blades come together again. And then exhale, drawing the chi down in to the brass basin. So gathering the chi from the heavens. So inhale with the scooping palm, we cover the jade pillow. Exhale. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, massaging the gallbladder meridian, we draw the chi down in to the brass basin. And exhale. We'll do 2 more like this. Last one. Next is return to fetal position. So for this guy, we're using a different hand again. So this time it's a robin's egg fist. So you catch the fingernails with the thumb. So you have a hollow here. It's a hollow fist. You put your thumb in there, and it's called a robin's egg fist because you put a robin's egg in the palm and you hold it there. So that's what we're after with this particular one, is we're here, we're gathering some chi from the heavens into a robin's egg fist. Bring the back of the hands to the kidneys, a dragon's back here. And then exhale, keeping that dragon's back. Wrists come together, elbows come together, elbows to knees, head to wrist, lowering the hips. And then inhale, we circle the abdomen. Exhale, we drop the chi into the brass basin. So looking from the side. Inhale. So we're gathering the chi from the heavens, bring it around to the kidneys, and then we come around and down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And once more like this. All right, the last one in this series is leading the golden chi ball around the small circuit. So in Qigong we have meridians, and we talked about some way back at the beginning. The kidney meridian begins at the sole of the foot, and we also mentioned that the pericardium meridian ends here, you know, at the tip of this finger, but pericardium 8 is in the center of the sole of the palm. So anyway, we also have vessels. So you think of them like reservoirs, lakes, ponds, that sort of thing. And the meridians are like rivers and streams. And so what we're doing here with this particular one, leading the golden chi ball, around the small circuit. The small circuit starts here at the root, at the Huoyin. It goes up the back. This is the governing vessel. Comes up over the head, stops at the roof of the mouth. The conception vessel starts at the lower jaw and goes down the center line of the body and finishes at the Huoyin. So we have a small circuit here of those two vessels. And so we're going to be gathering qi and bringing it around this circuit. So we start by stirring up the qi in the brass basin. Draw some of it out. We hold it here at the surface of the body. Exhale, we push it down to the root. Inhale, with the dragon's back, we come up over the top of the head. And exhale, with the turtle back, we come down the front. Inhale, small triangle, dragon's back. Exhale, large triangle, turtle back. And let's look from the side. So 3 more like this. One last one. All right, so that was leading the Golden Chi Ball. And this is the end of the Golden Chi Ball series. So let's pull down the heavens to wrap it up. All right, so in the few minutes that we have left, we're going to be looking at the healing sound and the lung, increasing lung capacity, improving the health of the lungs by using the lung regulating protocol. So the healing sound for this month is hiss, H-I-S-S-S-S-S-S. And it's actually this season, not this month. So this is the fall season. And there's a hand movement to go with this. And what you do, and once again we're back to the hands again. We do this, so you have the lung meridian here, ends here. The large intestine meridian starts here and flows up and finishes at the nostril. The lung meridian starts here in the hollow between the shoulder and the chest and flows down the arm and out the tip of the finger. So the lung healing sound, the fall healing sound, as we said, was the hiss. You fold 3 fingers in, so you make that L with the thumb and the first finger. You have the elbows bent. So it's inhale, pull with the elbows, hiss. And from the side, looks like this. Hiss. And typically we do it 3 times. We do it in multiples of 3. So it's for the 3 treasures, the 3 aspects of the body. The physical aspect, the jing, the energetic aspect, the qi, and the intellectual, the spiritual, the whatever you want to think of it, what's going on in our head, that's the shan. And so typically we do it the first one for the physical body, the second one for the energetic body, the third one for the thinking body, for the spirit. So let's do it one more time. So inhale. Yes. So you draw in fresh, shiny silver chi and you expel grubby gray chi. Yes. And once more. Yes. Now we're going to briefly go through the lung capacity, increasing the lung capacity, the health of the lungs, with the three-part breath, lung tapping, the healing sound, and if we have time for it, the bee breath. So the three-part breath we did way back at the beginning, we'll cover it again. You inhale, inhale, and again, hold, exhale. Again. You want to fill the lungs up. And we'll do once more. And now, the next part is, I call it lung tapping. There's a hollow between the shoulder and the ribs. So right in this area here, there's a bit of a valley. And you want to hit it firmly 3 times. And then we're going to hit it again 3 times on the opposite side. So we go here. And you want to feel it down here in the lungs. And then we go the opposite side. You want to feel the lungs shake. And we'll do one more. And we come on back. So it's similar to way back at the beginning with the cleaning the dragon's whiskers, except we're tapping vigorously and you want to shake the lungs completely. So this shaking dislodges any adhesions, any junk that's left in the lungs, any congestion, helps to break it up and helps our breath to expel it. Now we did the healing sound already, but just to quickly review. Yes. And it's best, you get the most benefit if you have a buddy you can do this with. The idea being you breathe in and you fill the lungs as much as possible. Then you exhale with that healing sound and you and your buddy, and you see who can exhale the longest. Because we're forcing the air out when we're making that healing sound. It's not the same as going, like that. It's hiss. So there's a restriction in the throat. We're restricting the flow, and we're pushing the air out with some force. And we got some resistance going on. And this is helping to increase capacity within the lungs as well. So let's do that one more set of the healing sound. Hiss. Inhale. Hiss. And again. Hiss. Now there's a fourth part that you can do, and this is called the bee breath. And what this does, we hum. So it's like this. Inhale. And eventually you run out of breath. But what we want to do here, the reason for doing the B breath is it generates nitric oxide. The chemical formula is NO, as in no. So nitric oxide generates it in the sinuses. And when you hum, you increase the concentration of nitric oxide in the sinuses, in the nose, by a factor of somewhere around 10 to 15 times what you would normally get when you breathe in through the nose and you breathe out through the nose. And so when you're exhaling, you're doing this humming. Well, you're filling the sinuses with nitric oxide, and it kills bacteria and it kills viruses. And then you breathe in through the nose and you're carrying all that extra nitric oxide down into the lungs. And again, killing viruses, killing bacteria. But the next benefit is it goes into the blood, because that's what happens in the lungs. It takes the oxygen, it's going to take this nitric oxide, and it carries it around through the blood to the rest of the body. But one of the things that nitric oxide does is it relaxes the vessels, the blood vessels, so they're able to carry more volume with less pressure. So blood pressure is reduced. So one way you can help manage your blood pressure by humming like a bee. So that's the protocol for improving your lung health, your lung capacity, and we're going to wrap up for today. So let's pull down the heavens 3 times. And now we're going to finish up with our 5 directions here. So you want to be in that stacking of the bones stance, hip over the ankle. Same happening here. And we start with, well, the 5 directions. So advance, retreat, move to the left, look to the right, stay here in the center. And now, this is early summer, winter, spring, fall, and late summer. The red phoenix straight ahead. The dark blue turtle behind. The green dragon to the left. The gray silver tiger to the right. And the yellow golden center. Last cycle. And that's it for today. So thank you all for coming. See you next week.